So I've just received a package in the mail from Nick. His channel is The Book Graveyard. Let's take a look and see what's inside. I think you can hear I'm opening it. There's one item. A beautiful DAW SF Books t-shirt. Thank you so much, Nick. All right, I'm back. Not only do I have the t-shirt now, I also got a haircut. So welcome to Vintage SF. I'm Richard Rempel, and today we're going to take a look at my acquisitions for this last month of June. Once again, thank you, Nick, for this great t-shirt. I'm not sure if Nick has any left over. I know at one point he did. If you go to his channel, you could contact him and see if there's any left. Let's start this off with a postcard I received in the mail this last week. I've received many postcards from Bruce in Toronto, but this one is from Brian in Brantford. It reads, Richard, science fiction is not predictive, it is descriptive. That's a quote from Ursula K. Le Guin. Keep up the great work on Vintage SF. Best, Brian. And he gave me a QR code to get details about the artwork. It's by Frank R. Paul, and it's a cover of Dynamic Science Stories from February of 1939. Brian is one of my viewers that I sent some of my bookmarks. They're actually business card size, but I created these bookmarks for my channel. If you're interested, you can email me and I'll send you some. So thanks, Brian. That was a great way to start my week. Let's get into the books now. The first one is a classic of science fiction. I haven't read it. It's been adapted into a movie. It's Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut Jr. Copyright 1969. This is a 1974 printing, and I think this might be an image from the movie. I did see a little bit of this movie on TV, but I haven't watched the whole thing. At the time, I found it a bit confusing. This one replaces a copy I had that wasn't in as good condition. And I do like the green text block. In this last month, I got together with Chris of Liminal Spaces and we reviewed Tor Double number 11. The Tor Doubles came out in the late 1980s, early 90s. There was 36 of them. He and I reviewed number 11, which had a James Tiptree Jr. story and a Joanna Russ story. I thought I might pick these up as I see them available. So here we go. I have Tor Double number 20. Harry Turtledove, the Pugnacious Peacemaker. And then at the bottom you can see The Wheels of If by L. Sprague de Camp. Now this is a little bit different because it's not a flipped cover. There's a reason for that. There's an original tale at the bottom, as I said, by L. Sprague de Camp. It's an original tale of an alternate world adventure. And Harry Turtledove in the top, that one is actually a sequel to the story at the bottom. I'm kind of wondering if he created a sequel to that classic story, which one is going to be first? Ah, yes, it will be The Wheels of If first, and then the sequel by Harry Turtledove, The Pugnacious Peacemaker. So this is a bit of a different type of double. It still has on the side the way they listed the Tor doubles. The second one I have is more the traditional format. This is Tor Double number 26. We have John Varley, press enter. And then if we reverse it, we have Robert Silverberg, Hawksbill Station. And you can see here on the side that this is their tour double. I consider this the right way to hold a double because we have this cover here without the barcode and that one with the barcode. As well on the side, you can see that we have the price and book number here at the bottom. So there is an orientation to this one. So 3 of 36. I've got a ways to go, so I'm watching for those. The next one is by an author that I read way back in the 1990s, but I haven't re-engaged with him yet. I've been collecting some Jack McDevitt books. This one's The Long Sunset. It's an Academy novel. Priscilla Hutch Hutchins, the Academy's best pilot for decades, is told about an interstellar message from a highly advanced race. The message is a piece of music from an unexplained area. Despite the possibilities that this alien race could pose a great danger and that this message could have taken several thousand years to travel, the program prepares the last interstellar ship for the journey. As the paranoia overcomes the quest for discovery, Hutch and her crew make an early escape. But what they find at the other end of the galaxy is completely unexpected. One of my family members works at the Winnipeg Public Library, and when some books are taken out of circulation, she watches for any that are science fiction. Here we have Larry Niven and Stephen Barnes, The Descent of Anansi. And you can see that it's one of these permabound books. The world turned upside down. It's the American Revolution all over again, but this time it's a ragtag band of space colonists versus the United States. And the fate of the world hangs by a thread, 200 miles above the Earth. So this is really a wraparound cover here. It's going to be interesting to see if I can remove the stickers here. I won't be doing that in today's video. A book that I've been very curious about, so curious that I actually bought it at full price, is Mary Shelley's The Last Man. There's a possibility I'll read this in the next month for Rocket Summer. On one of my previous videos describing Rocket Summer and the choices of books I had, I did read the back of the book there. You can check that out if you're interested. But just know that this is the landmark novel by Mary Shelley that invented the human extinction genre and initiated climate fiction. One of the reasons that I wanted to get this edition is it matches up well with the other Penguin edition, Penguin Classic of Frankenstein, the 1818 text. After purchasing that book, I realized that I could use air miles on my Amazon.ca account, and so I purchased a couple other new books. The first one is a complimentary book to this one, which I picked up in Santa Fe, New Mexico. This one has 100 of Bradbury's most celebrated tales. It actually is kind of a sequel, not directly, to this one here, The Stories of Ray Bradbury, originally published in 1980. I'll put the original cover here on the screen so you can see it. As I was checking out the table of contents, amazingly, I don't think there's any story repeated between these two volumes. That's why I say this one is somewhat of a sequel to this earlier book. There's some interesting features in this book, which I will put onto the screen. First, let's take a look at the cover with a nice picture of Ray Bradbury. We have an introduction by Christopher Buckley. After the introduction, we have an amazing chronology of the author's life and his literary context and historical events. It's 26 pages long and it's updated for this edition, so it doesn't end in 1980. This edition was printed in 2010. Let's see how many stories there are here. There are 100 stories in this book, so combined, That makes it 200 stories of Ray Bradbury. I'm going to show you the table of contents for both of these. I won't spend too much time on it, so if you're interested in seeing it, you can just pause the video. First, from Stories of Ray Bradbury, originally from 1980. And now from Bradbury Stories. 100 of Bradbury's most celebrated tales, with an introduction by the author himself. So here we have 200 stories of Ray Bradbury. The only non-fiction book that I picked up this month was also a new book. I've been looking for this one for a little while. It's a biography that I've wanted to read. It's a biography of James Tiptree Jr., who is actually Alice B. Sheldon. The Double Life. James Tiptree Jr., The Double Life of Alice B. Sheldon, by Julie Phillips. National Book Critics Circle Award winner. An incredible life, done elegant justice. Tiptree Sheldon is one of the century's astonishing figures, from Jonathan Lethem. Now, this is one of these print-on-demands from Amazon. This was a New York Times Book Review Notable Book of the Year, a Washington Post Book World Best Book of the Year, one of the Entertaining Weekly's 10 Best Nonfiction Books of the Year. Alice Bradley Sheldon was born in Chicago in 1915. As a child, she crossed Africa with her explorer parents. Later, she became a painter, a CIA agent, a psychologist, and at age 51 made yet another career change. James Tiptree Jr. appeared on the science fiction scene in 1967. His stories were fast-paced and hard-boiled, his letters frank and sensitive. For nearly 10 years he carried on intimate correspondences with fellow writers Philip K. Dick, Harlan Ellison, and Ursula K. Le Guin. But no one knew who he really was. Then assumptions about writing and gender were demolished when he was revealed to be Alice B. Sheldon. Based on extensive research and full access to Sheldon's papers, James Tiptree Jr. is the suspenseful, engrossing, and tragic biography of a profoundly original writer and a woman far ahead of her time. I'm really looking forward to reading this. I sort of have a tentative plan, perhaps, to have a month, let's say November, where I read nonfiction books, reference books about science fiction, and biographies. We'll see if that comes to fruition. The last one. This one, I've been collecting books of Neal Stephenson, and I didn't have The Diamond Age. This is one of his early novels. It also has one of those titles that has an or, so the secondary title would be Or a Young Lady's Illustrated Primer. Newsweek says, Stevenson has gotten even better. The Diamond Age envisions the next century as brilliantly as Snow Crash did the day after tomorrow. So, let's see here. It's one of these science fiction spectra books from Bantam. The Diamond Age. In Snow Crash, Neal Stephenson took science fiction to dazzling new levels. Now, in The Diamond Age, he delivers another stunning tale. Set in the 21st century Shanghai, it is the story of what happens when a state-of-the-art interactive device falls into the hands of a street urchin named Nell. Her life and the entire future of humanity is about to be decoded and reprogrammed. Now, this mentions Snow Crash. I happen to have just read Snow Crash and reviewed it together with Ira of SF Words of Wonder. You'll find that review as a buddy read on his channel. It'll be out very close to the time that this video is out as well. So those are my acquisitions for June 2025. Let me know about which book you find most interesting in this book haul, or give me some factoids perhaps about these books or their authors. I look forward now to Rocket Summer. In my next episode, it will be a live episode on Thursday, July 3rd. I'm going to be joined by other co-hosts of Rocket Summer 2025, and we're going to have a kickoff live event here on my channel. Of course, you can watch it after the event, but if you would like to join us live and interact with us in the comments section, it will be on Thursday, July 3rd at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, until next time, keep reading.